Presented by Hyatt Regency Guam. Cafe Kitchen now open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And we're back. Thank you so much for tuning in. Well, all this week is National Library Week, and it's only fitting that we introduce you to former Guam resident and author, illustrator, and publisher Gerard Aflague. Here's more. Gerard Aflague, his wife Mary, and family relocated in 2006 to pursue career and educational opportunities, first working in the D.C., Virginia area, then later settling in Denver, Colorado, at which time in 2012 he started an online company selling Guam and Chamorro themed home, office, and auto products under the Gerard Aflague Collection. 2 years later, he began authoring and illustrating a line of books.
Taking the artwork that we've done to establish a lot of the products for the home and office side of what we do, and we said, hey, you know, there's an opportunity to be able to do something for the younger crowd.
In July of 2014, the very first book was released.
I was in Guam, and I actually started with my wife to put together an alphabet book. You know, of all things, we said, let's start with the fundamentals. And it's actually called my first Chamorro ABCs book. And it's this particular book. This is a second edition. But this was the first book that we've ever done, and because we sell it online as well as locally, we've already sold over 1,000 of this particular title alone.
How does Aflague and his wife decide what titles and what types of books to put out?
We look to what's already been done. We try not to reinvent the wheel, but we look at what is available nationally. So most people, the statistics are that for every 100 people right now that are shopping online, 50 of them are shopping on Amazon. So we knew that Amazon had to be a platform where we had to go reach out. And so because we were using Amazon as a platform, in addition to our own website online, we used Amazon's search engine as an opportunity to do market research.
He said there were huge gaps when it came to children's books for the island.
We thought, man, this is a huge market that we can get into to be able to design books that would be visually pleasing and simple enough where people would want to buy them.
Eventually, he wanted to expand, offering titles that catered to our brothers and sisters in the Micronesia Islands.
We thought, you know, at that point when we already knew that we were doing well, we had channels to be able to sell them, we had the ability to be able to do what we do, to be able to distribute them, publish them, you know, illustrate them, and author them. We said, wow, there's no reason why we can't start doing books for Micronesia, translating them into Pohnpeian, Kasrayan, Palauan, Chuukese. And we even went further to kind of understand what Polynesia needed. And Tonga and Samoa are very underserved markets. And so we're starting to do books for Samoa as well.
As for the recent book that was released,
the most recent book that we published, which was 2 weeks ago, it's called Goodnight Guam. So basically this book actually takes the child across the island, and the child says goodnight to the critters and the animals, and the child is able to say and learn the critters in both English and Chamorro, and says goodnight to all the landmarks like Tarzan Falls and Two Lovers Point. It even has the Guam Museum, believe it or not, the new Guam Museum. And so the child is able to be brought across the island and then says goodnight to his mom and dad and whatever. But it's a very sellable book. It's probably the #1 book right now on Amazon if you type in Guam children's books.
What does the future have in store for Aflague?
In about 2 to 3 weeks is my first Chamorro children's Bible with English translation. So this is a bilingual book. It's going to have 16 major Bible stories. You know, it's Noah's Ark and the crucifixion and things of that nature. We're very excited about this book. We intend to translate this book into several other Micronesian languages as well as Polynesian.
And over the next few months?
It's a beautiful message of thanks to Mom. It's paperback. It's going to be called Sedus Mas Eat Nana. Basically, it's a feel-good and it's a pretty-looking book that men and women can offer to their mom as a gift to basically say thank you for all that you've done. So we're looking at that. Beautiful Chamorro baby names for those that are looking for gifts for, you know, someone in the family who's going to be having a child. We're basically taking all the alphabets in Chamorro, and we're identifying Chamorro names of places, things, and landmarks that might be appropriate as a Chamorro baby name, identifying them as male and female, as well as identifying the actual English meaning. For language learning, we have one that's we're working on called Learning Chamorro Words Around the House. It's going through each part of the house and identifying and marking every aspect of that photo, identifying tables, chairs, rugs, lights, and everything, so the child can have a good feel for what is called, what specific items in the house are called in Chamorro. Something that a lot of people online probably will be looking for, because there's a lot of Chamorros across the United States. Praying the Rosary in Chamorro with English translations. It's going to be a 2-part bilingual book. Chamorro on the front, English in the back, and we'll also include traditional Chamorro hymns that they be able to sing. These are the hymns that you hear every day in church.
Gerard and his wife believe in using their talents to give back to the community. Their belief is to invest time and resources today to perpetuate their culture and language and create a legacy for years to come. As for what advice he'd offer,
look for a mentor. I'm even opening up myself. If somebody ever wanted to go to my website online and find me, or find me on Facebook, I'd be more than willing to Skype with them to share aspects of what worked for me, and I'll even share the challenges as well.
If you would like to take a look at the over 80+ titles in Gerard's collection,
you can find all of our titles on Amazon.com. You can just type in Gerard Aflague Books.
You can also visit GerardAflagueCollection.com or head on over to Bestseller or Faith Bookstore. Don't go anywhere, because when we return, we have Mix Plate. You're watching In the Mix.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your 4th meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más.